Eagle Eye Football, got JC here. JC, what were your thoughts on the game?
I'm happy that we got a draw out of it. I'm not going to lie to you. If you look at it, saying 6th place team, 12th place team, I'm taking a point. It don't matter who it's against, I'm taking a point. However, because it's Brighton, because it's our rivals, probably the biggest game of our season, really, it sours it a lot because we know that we can play so much better than we did, and we also know that they can play so much better than they did today, and that's the disappointing thing about it. Because if they played a little bit better, they're killing us 3-4-5-0 today, and if I'm honest, if they had put away their chances, they would have done that to us today because we were dreadful, we were crap. There was no way that we could have played any differently with those kind of players to get a result out of that game today. We didn't do much to move forwards. We couldn't hold the ball. Passing was a joke. I think it today really showed our off-the-ball work and how dreadful it is. I think everyone's seen it. The Palace have ran the least out of every single Premier League club, and that really showed today because right at the end of the game, we're pushing. We just scored. We've got the momentum. Pushing up. You see Edouard chasing after the ball. Pushed it out to the keeper. The keeper's only got one option. Where's Eze? Oh, we still stand on the halfway line. You're thinking, oh, come on, man. If our off-the-ball work was just that little bit better, we'd make more interceptions, we'd make more tackles, and we'd make more successful passes. We'd be able to move the ball forwards better. The final pass is dreadful, as you said earlier. Elise passing, trying to find Schlupp going through the middle. He's passing it out wide. I get his thought process because Schlupp is the left winger, no?
Yeah.
But because Mateta's come out wide to help him, obviously Schlupp's going to slot in through the middle. And you're thinking, you just need to look up. Like, there's no point kicking the ball and not looking at where you're kicking it. It doesn't make sense. And the point, I'm just really happy with this point right now.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with all that. The subs, what did you think of them? Do you think they helped us? Do you think maybe they should have started? Do you think it was too late? Or what did you think about them?
I think the Lokonga sub was made at the right time, but it was a bit worthless because we took off Hughes because he was holding cramp and he had a yellow. Lokonga came on and got a yellow within a minute. So I'm thinking, oh wow, great! Look, we took off one guy that's going to come in and make tackles to another guy that's going to make tackles. Oh wow, he's got a yellow card already. So I think that's fine, but I think that the tactical changes in the first half, for example, is where Vieira really needs to make his changes. He needs to see that whatever he's doing is not working. At least with Roy, he'd make a change to the tactics at halftime. He'd always do that, but Vieira wouldn't even make the tactical change at halftime. He'd make the tactical change when the sub comes on, and that was 60 minutes today. So we had 60 minutes of us knowing that we're not going to play very well with this formation. Other subs that came on, I think Ahamada, he came on for Elise, so he was pushed out to sort of a right midfield place. You know what? I don't think he was too bad. He got shoved into a Brighton game, which is a very tough game to come into, especially as your home debut. It's got to be hard. But there were glimpses of him being dreadful. He misplaced passes, touches was bad. But also, you see the player in there that we bought. We saw him nutmeg people. How's it going, man? But you saw glimpses of him nutmegging people, running past people, playing a great 1-2 to Edouard. If Edouard hit that ball a little bit harder and Ahamada was through, you'd maybe have a shot there. Eze, I think that he should have come on a little bit earlier. I think the same with Edouard. But when Eze come on, made the attacks more fluid. Definitely a lot more enjoyable for us to play. I think actually when all the subs apart from the Elise sub happened, I think that's the team that should have started, that had Edouard, Eze and Lokonga in there. But I'd like to hope that we'll play that next week against Brentford. I think we're playing, aren't we? But they got a good draw against Arsenal today. Finally, Edouard. Oh my gosh. Him coming on just showed us how dreadful Mateta is. I know James loves him. Even he slated him today. What has happened to this guy? He's gone from being an incredible goal scorer, and then guess what? We purchase him, he signs the contract, and his performance goes downhill. It's like the same thing with Benteke, isn't it? Whenever what was it, 2 years ago, he was out of contract. It's 10 goals in 10 games. Signed his new deal, he didn't score again for us. So, in my opinion, I think that's what's happening for us. I think Mateta's just a bit too... The word that comes to my head is a dopey striker. I don't know if you get it. Like, he's just slow, he's too gangly. He only started putting himself about when he knew he was coming off. When he saw Edouard getting dressed, then he started bullying Dunk. Then he started running into him, making a nuisance of himself. But before then, he was doing nothing. Control was dead. I remember a point in the first half, he came short to get the ball. He knew he was on his own, but he passed it straight back to Decore, who had 3 guys around him. You're thinking, mate, just turn around and run forwards. But subs, Vieira made the right ones, but wrong time.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. So, of all the players, who do you think deserves man of the match?
No one, really. Ayew makes a very strong case for himself because I think he's one of our better players today. Decore is always incredible. I think Mark Gay had a great game today, and even though Klein got spun by Mitoma many times, he kept him reasonably quiet until they obviously started overloading down there. But I think if I'm going to give man the match today, it's got to be Gaeta. Saving all those shots, many long-range efforts, close-range efforts. I think that Mitoma shot save was very good. And he made another really good save from a corner, I believe. And I'm thinking, this guy is keeping us in this game today. Without him, we don't draw 1-1 today.
No, I completely agree. Right, thank you very much, JC. Pleasure as always.
Up the Palace.
He goes.